Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Wolfenstein: The New Order. So, with any luck, we'll be done with this game here. I suspect we've only got like half a map unless we go to a different map, and then we're gonna take on maybe one final boss, and then that's kind of gonna be it. And it's a real shame because this level in particular feels what Wolfenstein a sequel to Wolfenstein 3D should be. We've got a metal machine here. We've fought with these guys before. Let's see if we can find who the blast and where they are. We don't. Let's see. Do we have enough? No, we don't. So, oh, we do have enough rocket launchers. Gotta be careful here. Nope, that's not what I needed. You know, there is a potential chance for a perk here. What if I ran out here? Drop this. And just drop this gun. Ew, what a weird idea. Dismounted this one. And so now that's technically a dismounted gun. And we are looking for a kill streak that happens because of this. And I'm out of bullets. Alright. That's one down. That's two down. That's not two down. Now I've got hardened perk, so I got a different perk done than what I was expecting, but whatever. Let's switch with this. There we go. That's not what I wanted. Come on. Stop avoiding my shots. Armor, health, double shotguns. See, I thought this area might very well have been the prisoners area, the jail. I'm not sure if it actually is. See, the shotguns are kind of a mess of a gun. They're clearly only added to the game because the game feels like it needs to have shotguns. They don't do anything other than make it easier to take out enemies. There's more of these guys around. Maybe now. It's just this ever lengthening hallway. Did that blow him up? There's an Enigma paper. We're now set. So let's see. We need as much health and ammunition as possible for the next spot. The next challenge. It's very noticeable that this hallway is exactly the same hallway that we were in just like 2 rooms earlier. It feels like they ran out of time. Honestly. Charge every gun we've got. Well, I won't charge the other gun because I would probably drop this one. Is there something I missed over here? Like, what is this? Like, how does this passage connect? Oh. This is a total confusion. Seems like things to pick up may have started to despawn a little bit. And this was a path. And we looked... Like, where have we looked? I think most of the map so far. So there's 2 ways up and 2 ways down. And this thing is moving us all around. We never really did figure out what causes the game to unlock all of the collectibles and tell you on the map whether you found them or not. So this is the way to go. And I think we're probably pretty good. The only thing is, I think if I go over here, I can recharge this. We're at 100 health. We're at 100% bullets on one gun at least. Music is playing. We're either gonna fight Death's Head or just escape and then blow up the place. I imagine we're gonna have to do both. Seriously? That's kind of ridiculous. The gate closes behind you. So it's here specifically so you can't do that.
Is in position. Everything according to plan.
Or at the very least it's... So we're in the laboratory where he does his horrible experiments. Let's pause this for a second. We need one more Enigma code and more gold. And so he's got like brains in jars. Brains and entire spinal cords. Which we saw experiments like this before. So we are here. There's really not much more. And why is the mouse cursor showing up? Very possible it was always there and I just normally have it off to the corner. And so we kind of guessed that these, I guess I would assume these brains that we're seeing are put in jars or put into robotic men. It's a little odd that it's so clean. Last piece of the Enigma code, but the gold we've missed a lot of, but maybe we've made enough of the Enigma code that we could get it all. Maybe if there was a New Game Plus and there was a lot of reason to want to play a New Game Plus. I said last time that it feels like there's been no secret passages. Maybe I'm actually wrong about that. Maybe there have been secret passages and I've just missed them. Was not expecting him at all.
As the synthetic tetanus vaccine further inhibits your nervous system, shutting down your motor faculties, you'll find it harder and harder to move. There we are.
Oh, hey. Was kann ich wirklich tun? Bin beschäftigt. Entweder in Berlin, um den letzten Dreckshaufen zu beseitigen, den Captain Blaskowitz vor unserer Tür hinterlassen hat.
Ich habe ein Geschenk für dich, mein Schatz.
Wirklich? Ich liebe Geschenke. Zeigst es mir?
Dir zeige ich doch Rydo.
Bobby, dein Geschenk ist kostbarer als alles, was ich mir hätte erträumen können.
This would be a weird way to end the game. See, I thought this guy was afraid of blood and was just his lover, her lover.
This woman is my life, you understand? My everything. Warm blood, the smell, it sickens me.
So,
but I would do anything to see her.
So I'm gonna bite his ear off. Go full Mike Tyson on him.
There's something very wrong with your cerebral cortex.
Yep. Something very wrong with my cerebral cortex, you say? Very possible. Considering I have shrapnel in my head and... Can you break glass? Can you shoot glass? Nope, not anymore. That worked for a little while. Is there any health before we leave, or did they have this whole area specifically empty of health on purpose? Yeah, it seems like they intentionally have the whole area empty of health. None of this is breakable with a knife, at least. So she wanted to kill me before, and now she wants to kill me even more. Does that really change? And we know she's in Berlin.
Not going down. Not yet. Not until she's safe.
This is funny though, because I'm passing out and there's like nothing I can do.
There's your problem.
The transport helicopter is ready when you are, Blazkowicz. Soon as you get our people out of the compound, we'll swoop in and pick you up.
So am I gonna get nuked back in time? That could be one way of doing this, I suppose. Not too much left, though. Look at that map, it's mostly cleared.
William! What happened to you? You're bleeding.
Wow.
Got us out from the cells, we thought we would be escaping all on our own. Good to see ya, Blazkowicz. Jesa Hoya, man.
Let's get out of here. Kinder, let's go. Lloyd, Lloyd!
And he freed them using some kind of lantern?
Oh, yeah, well, this elevator has seen better days. That's why it still works.
So, like the whole game, is this a regular lantern or a special lantern?
Blazkowicz, help me out.
Seriously, is this a hallucination or what? Or did they just run out of budget? That must just be a regular lantern instead of something magical. Because she wouldn't be pushing it at, pointing it at people willy-nilly if it did something.
I believe there are still places on this earth where people can go and live happy.
I believe so too. Not for me and for you.
It's a slight question too about how do they get to America in the sequel. Okay, so this is kind of the cheesy, cheap way of them introducing a final boss battle.
We have met before. I think today we meet for the last time.
He's still alive?
Blazkowicz. Still fighting after all these years. I remember your friend. I savor his memory. Do you remember him? In work like this, it is easy to be tempted to sense compassion. We must learn.
Seriously, don't need flashbacks right now at the end of the game.
Not fit for the master race.
Like, clearly this didn't happen. And we saw in parts after he was hit in the head, time would skip, but in this cutscene, I did not see any skip. Like, they're just changing what happened.
People like you. All you pay is death and destruction. I would ask you to consider, in the end we will be judged. Not by what we have destroyed, but what we have created. Ferguson. Oh. Can you grasp the splendor of it? The intelligence of the human brain? Amalgamated. The efficiency and obedience of the machine.
So we have to fight Fergus, which I imagine it would be the exact same fight if it was Wyatt, but I had picked otherwise.
Machine man, clear the room.
Gotta get out of here.
Doesn't seem like he's... It doesn't seem like he's taking any damage at all. So,
Man, clear the room.
open elsewhere.
Gotta get out of here.
Let's see. Oh, I've got like only a knife. I'm dead. Like, how do we solve this? Like, if he shoots these areas, like, I've got no gun. I don't have the laser gun. Where'd my gun go? I guess I can try this. Do I have an infinite number of these?
Do not damage my prototype, Captain. It is a glorious machine. You should appreciate it. Bask in its glory.
Well, my health's a little bit better. And apparently I am supposed to just hit this guy. And he seems to jump out of the way a decent amount. So like, this is straight up just and all you have to do is hit X to talk to him? Seriously?
I'll see you soon.
Okay.
In a better place than this.
Like, sure, why not? Take the brain out. Smash it. It should be dead. Like, this brain has somehow been kept alive for 16 years. wasn't it? Well, 14 years? Yeah, 14 years and no blood or oxygen. And now we've got... I've got the... Like, that is the finally the part where I can do this? Seriously? So... Empty a fully powered LKW without missing. Indirect kills using LKD reflection mode. Like, alright. So
I will attempt to spare your hand, Captain.
I just get this weapon. Come on, let me through. Did that fall? Let's go this way and see if maybe we can cut a better line. There we go. Now what does this solve? By being this way? And this is like the only enemy I think you could have possibly gotten that to work on. That worked. Test a grenade. Maybe that will work. Maybe that's what I'm supposed to do. Maybe I'm supposed to test a grenade him and... How many Tesla grenades do I have? There we go.
I will attempt to weaken me, but my shield takes its power from the storm itself.
Ooh.
Channel from Asgard. How utterly villainous of you!
So, like, I can't do anything with him.
Oh, look at you! You run like a cockroach from the light! Nothing but skin and muscle tissue to protect your fragile organs! Well, my weapons are forged from German steel! My armor reaches into the skies! You force me to abandon the scalpel? For demerit, Captain!
So I'm about to die though. Like, I need this health. I need to get up towards this gun and it just won't let me get there. So what's the trick here? And see, the game doesn't even seem like it cares if you actually weld that well. It's just kind of get enough here to get up. Let's see, I'm at 80 and 20 armor, 120. Hop up here. And I can't use this. Here we go. Oh, I have to shoot this. Wasn't expecting that.
Your cruelty is endless, Captain. Honest, hard-working men on board that Zeppelin? Men with families? Have you no shame? A shocking display of evil.
Let's just keep running. Keep running, keep running. And this is so in the wrong place. If these were just in the ground, that would make it a lot easier.
You are at war with destiny. A hopeless endeavor. A villain wrath and destruction. Is that all you are?
So now I think I'm good, but I have to. I kind of feel like there should be a cutscene or something. Like, the feels like I should be right back here. It's overcharging and see if I've beaten the game. I think I beat the game.
General, before the day is done, I will have you at the end of my blade and force your surrender.
So that was supposed to be the kills Death's Head. Where is he? Just to make sure. Now, I suppose, in all fairness, defeating bosses is not what this game turned out to be. This doesn't feel like it's doing anything. But I'm about to die. Do I have anything? I have his marksman. Where is he? There's all kinds of damage I'm taking and smoke I'm inhaling, it seems.
Wasteful, counterproductive, irrational conduct.
Now we can dual wield these guys. Now we got shotgun. This guy is killing me. I'm killing myself. not really having a great time, honestly.
Before the day is done, I will have you at the end of my blade and force your surrender. Die, ally silent.
Like, I'm just not really feeling it. Yeah, I'm not really feeling the gameplay here. This feels... That's no good. I think I switched from one gun to another gun. Do we see it? Are these... No, we can't do that. We can't just stay where we are. Seriously, game, what do you want from me?
General, before the day is done, I will have you at the end of my blade. Force your surrender.
Like, what do you want from me, game? Am I supposed to pick up all of this and make a mad dash and then never come back, or... Like, and see, fire is starting to kill me. So am I supposed to get a few full shots on this guy? Let's see. I think I'm supposed to be hitting him in the face. Am I not hitting him in the face enough?
General, before the day is done, I will have you at the end of my blade. Force your surrender.
Let's see. That's no good. Like, I'm picking up things, but I don't need to be picking them up yet. I'm being overpowered. Let's see. And then like one fire is all it takes. Like, he's setting off all of these fires I've got nothing.
Before the day is done, I will have you at the end of my blade and force your surrender.
Let's, before we get in there, see if maybe we can cheat the game. I almost have the feeling that some of these crates have changed too. Like, that they were not wooden before. Oops.
Crawl down, General. Won't save you. I'm coming for you.
Let's see. Why would it switch out the welding portion? So I've got the max amount of things, I think. Extra bullets and things. How are we on guns? You're still pretty limited on guns. This probably would be the only point in the game where you could... Hey, that is a collectible. So we probably do know where the rest of the collectibles are in general. They're hidden. Alright, gun mode. I've got a little bit of help here. Seriously?
General, before the day is done, I will have you at the end of my blade and force your surrender.
So let's see what we can really accomplish without going too crazy with this. I've got 4 grenades ready to be tossed. This is maxed out.
General, won't save you. I'm coming for you.
And this is maxed out. Alright. We'll just see what happens here. Like, what is going on?
Senseless illusion.
Where are you? Low armor. Like, what am I supposed to do? Seriously, game. Do we go to baby mode? We've got about 15 more minutes.
Before the day is done, I will have you at the end of my blade and force your surrender.
We've got about 15 more minutes, and I cannot for the life of me find, like, anything that feels like it's correct here. This is more than just a slight bit of difficulty. This is a major increase in challenge.
Crawl down a hole, General. Won't take him. I'm coming for you.
Let's say we go down this way. There's 1 health that we can pick up, but everything else is pretty much already been collected and used. Well, actually, now that I'm looking at this, there's a whole bunch of guns back here, isn't it? So now I've got my full collection of guns ready to go. And a full ammo. The only thing I'm missing is dual knives. And a detachable Gatling gun. Let's try to use a policy here. The problem is that this doesn't save. One would have hoped that all of this would have saved, but I'm gonna try and do this now. Throw that. Throw that. Skip fight. Skip fight. Skip fight. How annoying.
Before the day is done, I will have you at the end of my blade and
Like,
force your surrender.
how incredibly annoying this is. Because I'm gonna have to go down to baby mode. I'm gonna have to fail after spending all of this time playing on easy. I'm gonna have to just give up and say, nope, I can't do it.
Down a hole, General. Won't take him. I'm coming for you.
I didn't even get to use these weapons. Let's see. Are these loaded and ready to go? Are these, like, these guys loaded and ready to go? What if I put this in that mode? That's probably the best mode to be in. So I'm thinking this with this mode on. With as many grenades as possible. With as much armor as one can get. With as much overcharge health as one can get. And you really can't even start the fight here. come up here and press B. How can I do it? He's in the way. I gotta find... don't die in the fire. I have to run over here and trigger the cutscene. Not a fun boss fight at all.
You chose well, Captain Blazkowicz. This is a good one.
Count to 4. Inhale. Count to 4. Exhale.
Like, entire parts of this cutscene were not shown the first time. And takedown. And that gets rid of Death Head. Now all of these people...
Captain, we are in position. The nuclear cannon is armed. Permission to fire?
A mighty woman with a torch, whose flame is the imprisoned lightning. In her name, Mother of Exiles. Commit, you're tired. You're poor. Your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. The wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these. The homeless. Tempest-tossed. To me.
Can you hear me, Captain? Am I clear to fire?
You're clear.
And that's where it ends? How do you make a sequel there? Like, literally, how do you make a sequel to that? So the music's playing. It's kind of nice, but with either the glitch or the lack of budget, where the vast majority of this game didn't have music, I'm not going to sit here and give it any points for picking one good song on the credits. I'm in this really weird position because this ending is an ending this game hasn't earned, like doesn't deserve. The idea of B.J. Blazkowicz blowing himself up. It also makes literally no sense that they make a new game in this series, because unless we're going to see a post-credits scene where the lady with the special suit somehow jumps and saves me from the nuclear blast, or gives me the suit and the suit protects me from a nuclear blast, it just doesn't make any sense. We've not seen anything here that confirms the idea of time travel being a thing. So I don't think it really happens. As far as the Resistance, I assume they take out Death's Head, and then that leaves the lady to be the new person in charge, which is fine. It gets rid of Death's Head, who's been the bad guy since Return to Castle Wolfenstein in the 2009 Activision Blizzard Wolfenstein game. A lot of people worked on this from Bethesda, but I mean, it was id that made Wolfenstein 3D. It was a different company that made the original Wolfenstein. So this is the oddest of video game series to ever occur, since it It's literally a different company almost every single time. I suppose now, since ZeniMax owns id and Bethesda, it would be either id or Bethesda that makes Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus. I guess it's id, but since they're the same company, it's very possible that people moved over. This game feels very unfinished. It feels like any first-person shooter could have halfway been completed and then converted into this game. Motivations are all over the place. The story is all over the place. We have half of the thing. I suppose as we see the claims here for the music, it feels like all of these overtures that were German music have potentially been taken out of the game. Which some of the old German music does get content ID'd or blocked in Germany. So it seems like on YouTube at least the like Fur Release is one by Ludwig van Beethoven. They either get claimed a lot by people claiming they own the copyright to hundreds of years old songs, or they just get blocked in Germany, which Germany really needs to realize video games are art and just allow people to tell their story. They're really ridiculous about it. Not particularly a great game, though. Like, I'd much prefer to play Borderlands. I'd much prefer to play probably Call of Duty, too. If I was just looking for a World War II first-person shooter, you kind of have to play that game, when really this game should be a World War II first-person shooter with some silliness every now and then. But by skipping forward in this new timeline, putting in the 1960s where everybody had laser guns and they have things on the moon, they're getting so far away from what the game originally was, which maybe that's what they needed to do. But then they failed to put in an interesting enough story. I don't particularly care about Anya. I don't particularly care about BJ Blazkowicz. I said at the beginning I was surprised that they made me care about him at all, considering he really just would have struck me as a jarhead that would have been, hoorah, let's kill some Nazis, if you'd asked me to describe the character from Wolfenstein 3D. There is a level of desperation in Wolfenstein 3D that they certainly didn't capture in this game too. Like, when you're playing Wolfenstein 3D, you are desperately trying to escape in that first level of the first episode. You're trying to kill everybody to escape, to pull out to succeed in your mission, whatever. But you are so overwhelmed. There's way less enemies in this game. I don't think they could program the enemies right. You see this in Fallout. You see this in Skyrim. Enemies in general just kind of pathfind to you in a straight line, and they get stuck on corners. We didn't actually see an implementation of anything like that happening in this game, but then a lot of times there's just nobody in a room. Is that because I was playing it on easy? If I go back and play it on the most difficult setting, do they add 5 more people? Then how do you balance out the stealth killing mechanics? By the way, the stealth killing mechanics make no sense in this game. That's something you would have in Dishonored. And Dishonored is also owned by ZeniMax. So, as this major company, ZeniMax, that owns several studios, there's a clear diversion should occur where Doom, which is owned by which the company that makes Doom is owned by ZeniMax, should be the Space Marine character with the crazy guns. Wolfenstein should be the World War II shooter with the World War II accurate guns. Fallout should be the alternate history with the crazy guns, and Elder Scrolls series should be the fantasy version of that. It's like a 4-quadrant breakup of different interests, all doing nearly the same thing. Arguably, Elder Scrolls has more missions and side missions. This game didn't really have side missions other than the collectibles. So I imagine the commander just counteracted the order to blow the place up. Or not. Interesting. So we're back to the menu, and this is the first time I felt comfortable getting back to the menu. And let's look at what can we do with the Enigma codes. I suppose there's something we can do, but I don't know how this is gonna work. Like, let's see. I'm going all the way through this, and there's no A, and so is this some kind of brute force where you have to brute force the whole thing? Let's see. A, B, C. This. Like, does this ever react at all? I don't know what enigma I'm trying to, what encoded message I'm trying to break. So how would I know whether I'm doing it right or not? This is boring. This is completely boring. Oh, well, I guess 00 gets you E4. I have no idea what I'm doing. I literally have no idea what I'm doing. Are we looking for A? Is that what we're trying to do? A. Okay. A. Up 1. B. B. C. C. So A. B. B. C. C. D. D. What in the world is going on? Like, what is this? This is garbage. This is a joke. This is a joke on anybody who would waste their time. Each number on the lower half increments it 1. So what? And that gets it to J. So what? Can I get anything up past J? No. This is a joke. Clearly. Crack the Enigma code. Like, alright, let's look at the collectibles then. We get all these collectibles. We missed one here. We missed one there. It seems like every single thing is golden. Which, alright, I suppose it's easy enough to put a gold texture over several items that you had already used in the game somewhere. Concept art. Concept art doesn't look too bad. I kind of need to look at the chapters and just even remind ourselves some of these chapters. A ton of them are terrible. Like, really, really bad. I don't know if you could have done any better though, if you had, say, just broken this game down to its main elements and done a five-hour game where it's cutscene after cutscene after cutscene, or do something like a Telltale game on the Wolfenstein series. That doesn't make a lot of sense. So the only thing that would have made this game better would have been more levels. It needed more levels. It needed more enemies. It needed more open areas. It needed a better story where we weren't jumping around between Berlin and London and the moon. Each one of those areas could have been an entire act. It could have been Escape from Castle Wolfenstein, could have been Escape from Berlin. Probably should have been in a castle for at least a portion of a significant portion of the game. We've got the grandpa and the grandmother. What happened to them? I guess they're still living just fine. Anya, I don't fully trust as a character. Like, I think the issue with Anya specifically is they wanted her to be the female version of BJ Blazkowicz and just have a great reason. Why did they do the chest tattoo on this lady? I don't know. Bobby should have been a much more fleshed out character before he killed himself. And all these robots shouldn't have existed. Hans and Klaus, Max Haas and Klaus Kreuzer here should have been way better fleshed out. Herr Faust. Bombate didn't play any part in the story, really. Seth Roth didn't really play any part in the story. Super Soldier in 1960, Navy Soldier. And these are all just 3D models on the same background. It's not even interesting. There's a rocket trooper whose head seems to be in shadow. Chief Scientist. Like, they just gave different outfits to... I didn't even know the space drones were different looking from the regular drones. But those enemies don't show up enough. Frau Engel. Caroline in the armor. Deathhead. Deathhead played no part in the story. Bubba played more in the story than Deathhead did. Letters, we could sit here and read them all, but you would have to actually read them over there in the lower right corner. And we missed some of those. And then recordings. Like, did we ever... Like, the music's just not playing. It's still not playing. Here we are. I'm hitting play. It's been taken out of the game. Or something. The Ramona's Diary stuff. that would have been a lot better if we had had it. So, according to the game, the time, like, I'm 64% complete on the game. I've died 60 times, total kills, stealth kills, dual wield kills, all of those statistics that really don't matter too much. And then the only thing I guess we want to see is what the resume does. So the Wyatt timeline, tells us particularly, I guess I can move the mouse out of the way while I'm doing this, what we missed. So Death's Head Compound, we got everything. Great. Why didn't they call that Castle Wolfenstein? They're reimagining of it. At least then it would make sense. The gold in the asylum was missed. 2 pieces of the gold in the New World were missed. And the Enigma code was missed in Eisenwald Prison. And then in New Home we got everything. London Nautica, first time, 2 of the gold and 3 of the Enigma codes. So many of these levels were just walking around places. Camp Bellica, we missed a letter and 2 Enigma puzzles. It was really easy in a few places to move the story along and miss things too. But later on, just finding the gold elements stopped being... I guess I wouldn't have to spend too much time on the lunar base, which is great, because between the lunar base and the first level, that's 4 hours of what is close to maybe a 20-hour game that is really stalling to even get to 20 hours. Remember the level, let's see, the Berlin Catacombs, I believe it was, or New Tactics, where you're underwater and you're just swimming for most of that level? Yeah, that was garbage too. Now on Fergus's timelines, play further to unlock this chapter. Let's see, I suppose you could try to play on Fergus's timeline. Let's see what happens when we resume.
Gentlemen,
nope.
Before the day is done, I will have you at the end of my blade and force your surrender.
So maybe if there was an achievement that you could cheat it and go to a lot more difficulty, that might work. Right there to use that save. But see, if I hit new game and we go to Uber mode, yeah, well, we saw all your perks and chapter progress. Are you sure? Is there some kind of DLC I didn't get here? I'm not seeing any DLC at all, but if there is some DLC, I'm not going to play it. I'm not going to play this game on a second timeline for Fergus. It doesn't... It's not even really worth playing the first time, honestly. I hate to make that final decision, but it's an average game at best, and frankly it's probably below average because it has the weight of Wolfenstein as the name. I love the concept of the series of Wolfenstein probably 1,000,000 times more than I actually love Wolfenstein, and this never felt like Wolfenstein to me. This didn't feel like a good direction to take Wolfenstein, and it didn't ever feel like a great game. So I'm just left disappointed. Maybe the sequel will, Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus, which is the 3rd game in the series. The sequel is actually Wolfenstein The Old Blood, which every report and review I ever saw said that that was worse than this game. People actually reviewed this game critically kind of high. In retrospect, me playing it, I don't even think it's worth that. This game was dangerously close to boring me at points and causing me just to end. I guess maybe if you hit this and then you went with this, maybe this is how you do the alternate history. And you got that get psyched that flashes at the beginning. But see, you've got to play the whole you've got to play this whole tutorial section now. Like, so maybe that's how you do it? To play the alternate timeline is you have to do it by selecting the chapters, each one. I guess that kind of makes some sense. No, it doesn't make any sense at all. I almost finished this whole review saying there's no way to play the second thing and keep your perks. Oh, actually, let's get back to this for a second and see if we did have our perks. Alright. You do have your perks when you do this, which would make the game easier, somewhat. But you still would have to deal with all of that. You still have to play that incredibly long 2-hour first sequence, which is the one thing you don't want to have to do. Why aren't all of the chapters in the different timeline unlocked? That's it for this series. Generally just disappointed. I don't think I'll be playing Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus anytime soon. Even if people tell me it's great, I'm not going to really believe them. It's probably just going to be... even if it was 5 times better than this game, it's still not going to be what I want, I don't think. Like, I'm not sure I particularly even know what I want. I guess I want an updated version of the old game, where you actually are killing real Nazis and not Space Marines, and you're actually firing real guns and not laser weapons. And if they want to tell a story, that's fine, but it has to be a good story. It probably should be a silly story, because that's in line with the story, with this series. If it's not going to be a silly story, fine. Tell me a 100% serious story about the horrors of the Nazis, and give B.J. Blazkowicz a lot of reason to want to hate and kill them. We had really no characterization or reason to hate and kill anybody except for maybe Death's Head and maybe the lady. And that's it. Everybody else that we shot, just because they were there. For all we know, almost certainly all of those Nazis were potentially brought into the Nazi order after the Great War had been finished, because it had been 14 years. None of those soldiers looked like they were in their 30s. They may have been just young 20-year-olds who had grown up in a world under Nazi control, and never mentioned that, never took any real concern about that, except for in a small part in Anya's diaries. Well, I'm not going to stretch this any further. Disappointed. I probably wasn't the best person to try to play a game like this, because I'm not a fan of first-person shooters anyways. But I still think you would have better going through some of the better Call of Duty games in the series, and have a better story and experience than that. That's it for this series. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos, because all of that helps me out and tells YouTube that my videos are worth watching. If you want a friend or follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Google+, Steam, or Battle.net, all of those links are down below in the description box. When you subscribe, if you click the notification bell, you'll get notifications. That helps you know when my videos are available. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.